Alright, hello, welcome back for another episode of Talking Craps. So, I had recorded, because I wanted to tell this story. So, it's the Venetian session from like 2 weeks ago. And, I don't have video, but I did take some photos, which I'm going to insert here. And I gave some like foreshadowing in my other video. I said, well, I'll save the story for Talking Craps. And I had begun recording it, and I had recorded like almost 20 minutes of me talking about what happened, but I didn't finish it. Then my next trip came up, and I didn't have time to like empty out my phone to make space for potential new video. So last week when I was at Green Valley Ranch, I was recording. I ended up recording like, I don't know, over 3 hours that day, and I was starting to run out of room on my phone. So I had to make a choice, and I deleted the audio that I had recorded up to that point. So yeah, sorry for that long-winded intro, but I will do my best to recap the session and not drag it out too much. So yeah, I had recorded an intro that morning when I got to the Palazzo. So, I played for so long at Venetian and Palazzo, and I have my, favorite tables, favorite positions, favorite dealers, and leading up to that trip. So I had been away from Vegas for like almost 2 whole weeks, which is a long time for me because I basically have been going every week, right? Throughout this whole year. And going back to last year, there were only a couple of weeks in the year where I didn't have a trip to Vegas. So yeah, being away for 2 whole weeks, it's like an eternity. So I was itching to play. I was itching to get back there. And I was thinking through like, okay, where am I going to go? Where am I going to start the day? Where am I going to play? So I had arranged a recording session at the Strat for later in the afternoon. So, earlier in the day is wide open. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to Venetian. I'm going to go to Palazzo, specifically Palazzo, go to the regular craps table, right on the main walkway, take stick left 1, and just come out swinging. And, it's like kind of like daydreaming, kind of, just like playing through scenarios in my mind. And I was locked in. I was like, it's been a while. It's been like 6 months since I've hit a ATS bonus with the max of 100 on the all, right? I hit it once at Venetian and once at the Wynn with the 100 on the all, right? I've hit it many times for like quarters. I've hit it once with like 50 on the all. So it's been all over the place. But I was really just like, I feel it. It's gonna happen at this particular table. So I get dropped off at the Palazzo side. I walk in, and what the heck? The regular craps table is not open. It was not even 11 a.m. and they only had the crapless open. So I asked the dealers, like, what's going on? They said that it was open, the regular craps table, but they had to close it because there was some electricity issue at the table. And I think it's got to do with the digital display and the terminal. And it wasn't just that it was like blanking out. I think, like there was danger of someone getting shocked or something. So they shut it down. It's like, okay, well, I didn't want to play crapless to begin the day, especially because I was going to be at the Strat, and Strat is all crapless. So I really wanted to play regular craps. But I was there. There were 2 guys at the table, and stick left 1 was open. So I was like, well, I'm here. Let me just see what happens. So I buy in for 3,000. And I just go through like one shooter and then me, and then I don't know if I stuck around for another shooter or not, but it was no good. So I quickly lost like $600. And I said, okay, well, I'm here to play regular craps, so I'm gonna walk over to Venetian. So I just took the chips with me, about 2,400. So I walk over to Venetian. I see 2 regular tables open, and the table that's farther away, it's semi-full, and the table that's closer to me as I am walking towards the craps pit, there are only two players. Now stick left one is taken. Both players are on the left side, but stick right one is open. Not my favorite position, but hey, at least it's not straight out or in the hook. So okay, so I walk up to that table with the intention of playing there, but I happen to notice on the other table one of my favorite dealers. So it's kind of funny because I always say he's one of my favorite dealers, but he's only ever dealt to me once before. And he's the guy who got a lot of love in my Monster 39 roll, video at the Palazzo, right? From last year. And everyone loved him because he's quick, he's witty, he's good with his hands, right? He keeps the action moving, great guy. So I saw him and it's like, oh, I have not seen him dealing, since that game, right? A long time ago that I put on video. So I had to play on his table. So I walked over to that side. Again, it was semi-full, so I grabbed, I guess you would call it like stick left 3, right in the hook. So I start there. And the dice, someone was rolling, made a point, so then I can't get on the bonus because they're mid-roll, but I start off by just betting like a couple of the numbers, but a few rolls later, 7 out. Dice come to stick left 1 next to me, short rolls, 7 out. Dice come to me, and I didn't want to shoot because it's not my preferred position, right? I was gonna pass it, but then I kind of get talked into playing, so I was like, okay, fine. So I shoot, short roll, 7 out. It's like, damn, I should have just passed it. So anyway, the dice make it all around, and no one has really anything noteworthy, right? It's all pretty like short rolls, and it's like, great, maybe I made a mistake. So I started off with about 2,400, and I was down to maybe like 500 in front of me. But hey, I still have chips. I'm still going at it. But by this point, because right, we went through about 5-6 different shooters, and we're not getting anywhere. I had how much? A lot of times when it's somebody else rolling, or right, I'm betting like 5, 15, 5 on the bonus, and I might have had that on this round. Dice come to stick left 1. It's an older gentleman, and he starts shooting, and hey, he starts hitting numbers. Finally, okay, we finally broke the curse. All right, finally we make a point. Oh, we make 2 points. Oh, okay, we hit it hard way. Now, he never got like any of the hard ways chained together, and you guys have been seeing that. I'll parlay the hard way, at least the full parlay the first one, and then depending on how things are going, sometimes I'm full parlaying the second one. We weren't really doing that, so I was full parlaying the first one, and then that second one just was not coming through. So okay, I'm missing out on all the hard ways, but he kept hitting numbers. It was kind of like evenly distributed, back and forth, back and forth. So all right, started pressing, and I think he might have needed the point of, I don't even want to guess. This is like 2 weeks ago, and I've played so much craps in between then and now, so I cannot remember. But I have a few photos, but I think the photo in particular that I have is much later. So anyway, there was a particular point that he was not hitting for several rolls, like maybe like 8 to 10 rolls. So when he finally hit it, I took it as a good opportunity. It's like, okay, all right, good. So I got all my money back to my original buy-in of 3,000, and I have I think I had the 8 pressed up to like 900. I had between 200 to 400 on the outside numbers, right? The 6 was like at 300. Again, we were not hitting the hard ways though, so I wasn't full pressing those inside numbers. But I took that as a good opportunity. It's like, okay, I'm gonna regress. So I regressed everything down to hundreds on the outside, 150 each on the 6 and 8, right? And then locked up maybe like 1,500 or so, right? Like between 13 and 1,500. I locked it up. It's like, great, all right, now I'm gonna start over. And the older gentleman, stick left one, he just kept hitting numbers, numbers. And we were not hitting horns. And again, we were not chaining those hard ways back to back, right? So, I was bleeding money through those center bets. Yeah, I know some people will say stop playing the center bets, but hey, you see my short where I hit the hard six for 500 and got paid 4,500. I mean, it's a gamble, so I'm willing to risk it, and I went for it. So unfortunately, not this time. So all the hard ways were just being wasted. All the horn bets were being wasted. So I wasn't really betting the horns too much, but yeah. So we finally got around to hitting the bonus. Unfortunately, again, I only had 5, 15, 5. So I mean, that's still paid 150 per side, and then 15 on the all pays 2250, right? Yeah, 2250. So it's a nice $2,500 bonus. But as soon as we completed the all, I bet 100, the max across. The shooter was only on the bonus for 555, and he once again bet 555. And I actually tried to tip him $100 right then and there, because by this point, right, I had something like 7,000 plus in the rack, right? And when his roll started, I was down to maybe like 500. So I tried to slip him, like $100, but he refused. So I said, okay, well, here, let me do this for you at least. So I bumped up his bonus because he only bet 555 across. So I made it like 20 for him. And then so we went at it again, and I had 100. And now it's like, well, I'm gonna start pressing. I'm gonna just go for it now because we're in profit town. So he keeps going. Not too long. He didn't take too long. He hit the tall. So my 100 pays 1,000, and Mr. Shooter got paid extra because I threw extra chips on the bonus for him. And by this point, I had the 8 pressed up to 2,400. But along the way, I was losing like 200 on the hard ways. I had parlayed it twice, right? So I went from nickel. No, I was never at nickel because I was down to 150 now, right? So 15. I think I pressed it up to like 75, and then I pressed it up to 500. Missed. So yeah, again, I was bleeding money on some of those, prop bets, but we're still making good money. So yeah, and then one of the photos will show that the point was a 10. I only had like a quarter or 50 on the pass line, right? 3 times odds as max here, but I kept adding to the straddled bet. Everyone always asks, like, what is that bet when you have the bet straddling the pass line? It's you are betting extra on the point. You are making an additional place or buy bet depending on what number it is, right? So I have a photo where I ended up pressing, right, betting an extra 500 on the point of 10, and eventually we hit it. So, right, let's say I had a quarter plus 75. I don't know. I don't have the photo in front of me right now. So that will only pay 175, but the extra 500 next to it pays me 1,000 for a vig of 5% vig on buy bets, right? So yeah, that was sweet. So we're going. I don't think we got particularly close to completing the bonus at max, and it was like such a waste because he ended up hitting like the 12 a couple times. Like, man, but we're at crapless. Like, this doesn't happen. So anyway, yeah, just pure collecting chips from the numbers, right? And we did not complete the bonus, right? That would have been $18,000 extra, but we didn't get there. But I collected some bets from like the $2,400 on the 8, like collecting extra 1,000 on the point of the 10. Just kept collecting them from the hits on numbers, and eventually he did 7 out, and I think at that point I had a little over 20,000, and it's now my turn to shoot, right? But it's like, how do you follow that up? But it's like, well, it's kind of like doing a heat check, right? You never know. Rarely do you get 2 hot rolls, back to back, but every once in a while it does happen, and who knows, right? So I had to go for it. I bet max on the bonus for myself, and I did shoot. I don't know, I might have shot like 10 times or so, but 7 down. So after that, finally colored up, and I colored up like something like $19,000. So yeah, that was beautiful. And he only rolled for maybe 40 minutes, a little over 40 minutes, because we had 2 stick changes. So yeah, that was amazing, amazing run. Now, if the story ended there, that'd be great, but unfortunately it did not. So I had 19 and change in my hand, and as we were leaving the craps table, on the way, right before the cage, is the roulette table that I have often battled at, and I took a shot. I bet 500 per number on 11 numbers plus 3 extra numbers with 100 each as insurance. So that's 5,800 on one spin, and I'm swinging for it, right? I'm up a good amount, so I took a shot. So unfortunately, it landed just 1 number outside my range. It would have only hit if it moved over 1 number. It would have just given me my insurance bet of 100, which pays 35, right? But hey, at least I got more than half of the money back, right? I bet 58, and if I at least recovered 35, then I can decide, like, do I take another shot or not? But unfortunately, it was hitting outside of that by 1, so boom, 5,800 gone. So then it was maybe about 1:30 p.m. when I had just taken that roulette shot, and it was I was a little early for the strat, right? And here's the danger. Whenever you have a bunch of money in your hand, right? I set a goal for myself. I wrote out, like, hey, if I get over 10K today, I'm gonna lock it up, and I did. And I was about to walk out, but I walked from the Venetian to the Palazzo side, and I ended up back at that crapless table. It was day shift now. It's all the dealers that I played with for years and years, and I went for it. And a little bit of up and down. So after taking that shot, I had like 12,000 in hand, right? A little bit of up and down, trying to play like, my usual. And I had at one point like 14,000 in hand, so I came up a little bit, and I was ready to leave now. But it's like, you know what? Today's been good. Like, I've been hot today, right? I felt like I was gonna make money at the regular craps table, and I did. Like, let me just take a shot. So I decided, okay, it's my roll. So I put. By this time, the table had cleared out, so I'm just playing alone. I bet 500 per extreme, so that's 2,000 right there. I bet 100 on the bonus, and so like from the get-go, I had like 2,600 at risk, right? 0.7 out. It's like, ouch, that doesn't feel good, right? But I still have over 10K in my hand. I was like, well, do I walk away or do I take a shot? I chose not to walk away. So this time, once again, I'm shooting by myself. Bet hundreds on the bonus. Bet the hard ways, whatever. I set a point of like 8 or something, and I bet 1,000 per extreme. 2, 3, 1,000 each. That's 4,000. I had the bonus, I had the hard ways, I had the pass line and odds. So like 4,600 out there. Second roll, 7 out, 0.7 out, twice in a row. I was like, ouch. So I just dropped $7,000 in a matter of like 1 minute. And now, it's like, I couldn't leave. Really stupid of me. I had the chance to leave up 14. Well, I had to pay 3,000 for the markers, so still I would have been able to walk out of there with 11,000 in pure profit. But nope, I couldn't do it. I took a shot. I mean, again, if it worked, right, then I'd be telling a different story right now. I'd be talking about like how amazing, that the whole day was after I, caught that other shooter's, monster roll. But nope, I just ended up dumping the full, like everything in my hand. And, it ended up being like a little after 4 p.m. when I dusted off the last of the chips in hand. And I decided, okay, well, I'm finally gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go to Strat. I'm gonna do my recording. And I already posted that because I talk about that, right? And yeah, even that session didn't go well. So I was like, oh, what the heck? And then I ended up losing one of the lavalier mics on my way out. So yeah, that day ended up going from amazing to terrible. Yeah, I left Venetian at 0, right? I bought back the marker, that I started with, so at least that's that. But I gave back, like 14,000 to the house. And then I lost more at the Strat, and so yeah, that was a bust. And what I think happened is I shot myself in the foot. I didn't stick to the plan. It's not every day that you start with like 500 in the rack and then end up coloring up for 19,000 at the craps table, right? I mean, I had the opportunity. I had every chance to get out of there with the great win. I did take a shot, and it wasn't the dumbest thing I've done, right? I mean, I've hit at roulette, I've hit at crapless, so I went for it, but instant regret because what I needed to do was book a win, right? So that I could, stop this trend of losing. So if I had booked that win, I would have cut my losses for the entire year by about half, because I was down like 20 something thousand at that point. So taking home like 10 plus would have meant that I just cut my losses in half, but I didn't. I increased it by like 3,000-4,000 instead. So yeah, so then just looking at my record, it's like a loss. Like it takes away your momentum, your confidence, all of that, right? Yeah, dumb. Now I don't even know if I'm going to post this because I just blabbered on way too much. I was trying to do everything under 20 minutes, and I'm looking at the recording and we're at like 26 plus minutes already. So yeah, what the hell? Yeah, you gotta take it when you have the opportunity. Craps, especially crapless, negative expectation game. When you have a nice run, I mean, you're allowed to go back and play, like, and go for it, but you shouldn't put all of your winnings at risk, right? I had every opportunity after each roll ended to walk with, the remaining chips, but I blew it. No discipline, no bankroll management, no discipline. Yeah. So where do we go from here? I have flights for tomorrow. I was originally gonna not go, but I'll stick a photo in here. I ended up pushing my flight back twice and then canceling that and booking a completely different flight, running out the Palazzo like without a chance to cash out. So I came home with $8,000 in chips. And if I don't go tomorrow, I might not be back for another 2 weeks. So I don't know. I'll make the decision, later tonight. But more likely than not, I am gonna go. Mostly because I have all these chips in hand. I want to redeploy, and who knows? Maybe I'll finally catch that monster roll at crapless. Finally hit one of the extremes with the 1,000 on it. Seriously, every single time I press my 2 or 12 up to 1,000 or more, I can't hit. The most I've hit on the 12 is either, no, it has to be, it's got to be 600. I've hit it for 600, which paid 2,400. But anytime I press, and after I hit it for the 600 on it, I think I pressed up to 1,500. That was the most I ever bet on the 12. But I missed after. But the usual press is like 100 to 300 and then 300 to 1,000. And every single time I get up to 1,000 on the 12 or the 2, I just can't collect. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow could be the first time that I break that barrier, because I was kind of running through scenarios, right? Even if I just started with the quarter on the 12, right? Quarter goes to 100, because this is my usual press. Now, if things are going really well, I'll press more, but usually 25 goes to 100, 100 goes to 300, 300 goes to 1,000. And then if I hit with the 1,000 and that pays 6,000, I'll book half of it. Well, more than half. I'll book 4,000 of it and then press to 3,000. Now, if I've been on a heater and I've been collecting on other numbers, right, then I might just press from 1,000 to 5,000 all the way. But the most likely scenario, right, to make sure I lock up something is I would go 1,000 to 3, and then 3 to 5. 3,000 would pay 18,000, and 5,000 would pay 30. That's the dream. It doesn't take that many rolls. I've personally rolled a 12 4 times in a row, right? But this was before crapless. I was just betting the horn and pressing, and I've seen somebody else roll 12 to 4 times, and yeah, it does happen, right? I just need it to happen at the right table, crapless, at the right time when I have money on it. So, all right, we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I will be back with actual good news next time. All right, thank you.
Woke up, lights flash, dice roll, neon glow, heart cold, bang roll. Hit the strip, I ain't playing slow. Stack 'em up, let 'em fall, let's go. Tables high, yeah, the stakes run deep. High risk, high reward, time to sleep now. Pit boss watching, I don't give a damn. This my city, bet it all, man. Yeah, I'm a Vegas day tripper. High stakes, I ain't no quitter. Throwing bones, let 'em fly. One more roll, one more try. Oh, Vegas, you don't know me. Just passing through, you can't hold me. Living fast, no regrets, no debt. I'm a dead tripper. Cut the check. Hard ways hit, let it ride. Feel alive in your lights, but when the sun starts creeping high, I'm gone. Don't ask why. Yes. Bellagio bright, big bets, big life, keep it tight. One roll, one night. Aces hit again, yeah, run that back. In the city, who counting stacks? Pit ball stress and watch my hands. Too much heat, change the plans. Wind calling, golden shine. But luck in Vegas don't last no time. Yeah, I'm a Vegas day tripper. High stakes, I ain't no quitter. Throwing bones, let 'em fly. One more roll, one more try. Oh, Vegas, you don't know me. Just passing through, you can't hold me. Living fast, no regrets, no debt. I'm a dead tripper. Cut the check. Hard ways hit, let it ride. Feel alive in your lights, but when the sun starts creeping high, I'm gone. winners turn to ghosts, lost in the night. Stacked too high, thought they'd never lose sight. But Vegas don't love you, just loans you a dream. Take too much, it'll snatch back everything. Watch the old timers still chasing the high. Empty hands, but that hope won't die. Told myself, nah, that won't be me. But damn, that gambler's life still calling me. Oh, just passing through, you can't hold me. Living fast, no regrets, no debt. I'm a director. Cut the check. Hard ways hit, let it ride. Feel alive in your life, but when the sun starts creeping high, I'm gone. Don't ask why. Vegas don't change, man. Only the players do. Some walk away, some fade away, and some they stay till they got nothing left. Not me though, I know the game, I take mine. And I leave till next time.